Everyone thinks markets are liquid until they try to sell. Most people don't question it. We move through our brokerage apps and trading terminals with a sense of total security. It just feels like it works. It's a background utility, like electricity or running water. You don't think about the pipes until they're dry. You click a button, you buy a stock, you sell a position. It feels instant. It feels easy. You see a number on a screen, and you assume that number is a doorway you can walk through at any time. But that's not liquidity. That's just an illusion of ease provided by a calm sea. Because the moment everyone tries to run for the door at the exact same second, the door doesn't just jam, it shrinks. Everything you thought you knew about market price changes. To understand this, you have to stop looking at charts and start looking at physics. Look at this. This is ferrofluid. It's a strange alien substance, a deep, oily black liquid. When it's left alone, it's smooth. It's still. It's perfectly controlled. If you dipped your finger in it, it would behave exactly like water. There's nothing unusual about it. But watch what happens when you bring a magnet close. Instantly, it transforms. It doesn't just move, it reorganizes. Sharp spikes rise up out of the blackness, aggressive, geometric, reaching toward the source of the pull. It's no longer a liquid, it's a structure. But here's the part most people miss, the part that mirrors our financial world. Move the magnet, and the spikes follow it. They are fast, they are precise, they are slave to the field. But the moment you pull that magnet away, the structure vanishes, it collapses. It goes back to being a flat, boring surface, like nothing ever happened. The liquid didn't change its molecular DNA. The field did. And markets don't behave as differently as we think. What we call liquidity isn't a permanent feature of a stock or a coin. It's just a measurement of how easily you can exit without moving the price against yourself. Think about high liquidity. You sell 1,000 shares, the price barely flinches. Why? Because the field is dense. There's always someone there. A market maker, an algorithm, a long-term buyer, willing to take the other side. They are the water holding you up. But then look at low liquidity. You sell 10 shares, and the price drops 5%. Not because the company hit a disaster, not because the asset changed, but because the market around it evaporated. Most people think liquidity is a constant, like a river that's always flowing, always available for you to take a drink. But it's not a river. It's a gift. Liquidity is conditional. It only exists when someone else is willing to be the mirror image of your desperation. And that assumption that someone will always be there to catch your fall is exactly where people get hurt. You don't own liquidity. You don't have a right to it. You borrow it. You rent it from the collective whim of the market. So what is the magnet in our world? What creates the field that turns a smooth market into a jagged spike? It's not the market as an abstract concept. It's us. It's the behavior of the people and the algorithms inside it. Fear, greed, panic. These are the magnetic forces. Under normal conditions, buyers and sellers balance each other out. The field is neutral. Everything feels smooth, stable, liquid. Until suddenly, it isn't. Think back to May 6th, 2010, the flash crash. For a few terrifying minutes, the global market stopped behaving like a civilized system. In less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee, the Dow drops nearly 1,000 points. Trillions of dollars in value simply blinked out of existence. And almost no one understood why. It wasn't a war, it wasn't a bank failure, it was the ferrofluid effect. Selling triggered more selling. The algorithm saw the field shifting, and they didn't just step back, they vanished. Liquidity didn't drain away like a leaky bucket, it vanished like a light switch being flipped. Not gradually, not predictably, all at once. For a moment in 2010, there were no buyers. None. Blue chip stocks, companies that have existed for a century, were suddenly trading for 1 penny. Not because they were suddenly worthless, but because there was no one left to catch the falling knife. The field didn't just shift. It overwhelmed the entire room. Liquidity didn't flow, it fractured. So here's the hard truth most people miss. Liquidity is not a thing you own. It's a thing you rent from participants you will never meet, decisions you will never control. And the moment everyone tries to leave the room at the same time, that exit gets very, very small. Sometimes smaller than you can imagine. Sometimes smaller than your computer can react to. And it happens at the exact moment you need it most. Liquidity is there until it isn't. It doesn't send a warning shot. It doesn't give you a grace period. It just leaves. And when it does, you don't notice it at first. You're still looking at your screen, wondering why your order isn't filling, until the price is already miles away from you. Next time someone tells you a market is safe because it's liquid, show them the ferrofluid. Then ask them, what happens to you when the magnet moves? If this perspective on the hidden physics of the market was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. It helps the algorithm find others who need to see this. If you want to dive deeper into the mechanics of how these systems actually work beyond the surface level, subscribe and join the conversation. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.